Today we're going to be doing volumes of prisms and cylinders. So the formula for the volume of any prism or any cylinder, whether it's a right prism, a right cylinder, or an oblique one like this first cylinder that leans over to one side, it doesn't matter. It's all the same. It's equal to the area of the base times the height. And again, we discussed this just a second ago, but for those people who are watching this for the first time, let's say that this is 4 inches deep. When you just cover the bottom 1 inch deep, the number of cubes it would take to do that would be equal to the area of the base. And then you just go, oh, okay, I do that 4 times. And the diagram starts getting really kind of ugly after a while when you do this. But you get the idea. I've got 4 layers, and each layer, the volume is equal to the area of the base. This is one of the easiest formulas because it's kind of base times height, which is one of those ones we've used over and over again. It's just that it's area of the base times the height. Okay, now, some of you learned, I don't know when you learned this. When do you learn length times width times height? 4th grade? Somewhere like that. Okay, why is it that works in a rectangular prism? Well, here I'm going to pick up this one that I had before. If I do length times width, what am I finding? The area of the base times the height. So this is just one that only applies to rectangular prisms. I don't use it because I know this formula that I can use all the time, even if it's not a rectangular solid. All right. So what about for a cube? Now this one I do occasionally use. The formula for a volume of a cube, where the edge for every edge is s cubed. Why does that work? Well, the area of the base is going to be s times s, which is s squared. Then I multiply that by the height. S squared times s is s cubed. Do you know that that's why we say to the 3rd power is cubed? Because it's the volume of a cube. They didn't just make that up. Okay? You may have never wondered because people always said s cubed, and you're like, but it's s to the 3rd. Why do they say s cubed? This is why. All right. So we're going to work through some examples together. Find the volume of each prism or cylinder, give the exact answer, if possible, and round it to the nearest 10th. All right, so we're going to do both. So let's start with this one. So we've got a regular pentagonal prism with base edge length 6 meters and height 7 meters. All right, notice they didn't draw it for us. No big deal. You don't need to draw the 3-dimensional figure. You just need to draw the base. The base is a regular pentagon. So 5 sides. And every base edge is 6. So we're going to deal with the base just like we did on last night's assignment. We're going to find the perimeter of the base because we need that to help us find the area. That's going to be 5 sides at 6 each is 30. Then we're going to find the area of the base. Anybody? What's the formula for the area of the base in this case? Half of what? Apothem times the perimeter of the base. Well, I know the perimeter of the base, I just don't know the apothem. Okay, so I'm going to find the approximate center. I'll draw in a central angle. The measure of that central angle will be 360 divided by 5 is 72. And then the apothem splits that in half. I didn't want it to be that color. I wanted it to be this color. So the apothem splits that in half so that each of these angles is now 36. And it splits the side in half, so each of those is 3. So if I'm going to find the apothem, from the 36, which side is the apothem? It's adjacent, and 3 is opposite. So what are we going to use? What? Tangent. So tangent of 36 is opposite over adjacent. So it's 3 over a. This is the one that requires a little bit more work to solve. Most of the ones we've been doing lately, the variable has been on top of the fraction instead of on bottom. So here, we'll just put this over 1 and we'll cross multiply. It'll be a times the tangent of 36 is equal to 3. Divide both sides by the tangent of 36 and we get a is equal to 3 over the tangent of 36. Do not put that into the calculator at this point. Some of you did that on the test and you rounded it off and then you used it and your answer was wrong. Not terribly wrong, but a little bit wrong. Okay, don't round in the middle of a problem. So going back to our formula, this would be 1/2 of the apothem, which is 3 over the tangent of 36, times the perimeter, which is 30. I'm still not going to put that in my calculator because that's not my final answer. Then the volume is the area of the base times the height. So the area of the base is 1/2 of 3 over the tangent of 36 times 30 times the height of the prism. What's the height of the prism? 7. That was given right here. They asked us to give an exact answer and a decimal approximation. What did they say to round to? Nearest tenth. Thank you, ma'am. So for my exact answer, there's not a lot I can do. I can just simplify this as much as possible. So if I multiply 1/2 times 3 times 30 times 7, I'm just going to multiply all those whole numbers together. So 1/2 times 3 times 30 times 7 is 315. So the exact answer is that this is 315 divided by the tangent of 36. That's the exact answer. And since the units were meters, this would be cubic meters. But they also asked for an approximation, so 315 divided by the tangent of 36 so this is approximately equal to 40.6 cubic meters. And the squiggly equal signs, in case you don't know, means approximately. Okay, any questions about that? Okay, let's go on to the back. A cube with edge length 6 inches. You have two choices on this. You can go through and do it the regular way, Or if you remember the formula for the volume of a cube, which is on the first page, you can use it. Okay, so it does not matter to me which one you use. If you use the formula from the front, the volume is equal to the side length, or the edges, cubed. So that's 6 to the third power. Yeah, if you don't know that one already, it's 216. You can do that on your calculator. 6. You're like, well, how do I raise it to the third power? Well, there's a couple of different ways you can do it. But this symbol right here underneath the clear is called a caret. I don't think it's spelled the same way as the vegetable, but I can't remember honestly. Raised to the third power. Oh, how nice. It's 216. And what were the units? My calculator's over it. Inches, so this would be cubic inches. By the way, in case you're wondering, you're like, is it somewhere else? Yeah. If you do 6 and you go to the math menu, it's right there, number 3. But it's more buttons to push, so I don't ever use it. All right, let's take a look at number 3. So, as always on three-dimensional figures, I'm going to start with the base. Got a circle with a radius of 6 centimeters. For volume, I don't need the circumference. All I need is the area of the base. So it would be pi times the radius squared. So it's pi times 6 squared is 36 pi. Then the volume is going to be the area of the base multiplied times the height. So it's 36 pi times the height of this is 8. Let's see, that's 288 pi, if I've done the math correctly in my head. Cubic centimeters. Okay, any questions about that one? All right, last problem then. Oh, sorry, last two. My fault. So for this one, the radius and the height of the cylinder below are multiplied by 1/3. Describe the effect on the volume. Let's do it the long way first, and then let's talk about doing it the short way. Okay, the long way, go ahead and find the volume. So for the original, the area of the base would be pi times the radius squared. That's pi times 9 squared is 81 pi. The volume is the area of the base times the height. So it's 81 pi times the height is 12. I have zero idea what that is. 972 pi. Okay, if we multiplied the radius and the height by 1/3, so my new cylinder would have a radius, what's 1/3 of 9? 3. Oh, sorry, I didn't put the units on this, cubic inches. What would the height be? 4, because 1/3 of 12 is 4. So the area of the base is pi times the radius squared. That'll be pi times 3 squared is 9 pi. The volume is the area of the base times the height. So it's 9 pi times 4 is 36 pi cubic inches. Okay. The way we did it on the one from earlier today, we took the new one divided by the old one. The new one divided by the old one. That'd be 36 pi over 972 pi. We'd like to be able to simplify that, right? What's the first thing you can immediately do to make this look a little nicer?
Pi.
Yeah, divide by pi. Pi divided by pi is 1. Well, now I need to reduce this. What are both of those evenly divisible by? 9? Okay. 9 goes into 36 4 times, and 9 goes into 972 108 times. Okay, you can divide both of those by 4. That's 1, and this is 27. So it's 1/27. No. But what do you get if you take 1/3 and cube it? That's 1/3 times 1/3 times 1/3 is 1/27. Since volume is cubic units, you can just cube whatever is being done to this. So if the radius and height are multiplied by 1/3, then the volume is multiplied by 1/27. And that will save you a ton of time. All right, last one. Find the volume of the composite figure. You may or may not remember that on Wednesday I said that in order to find the surface area, you never find one surface area plus another surface area, or one surface area minus another surface area. Is that really our bell? Okay, let me just say real quickly, for volume, you always do one volume plus or minus the other volume. So here, all you have to do is the volume of the prism minus the volume of the cylinder. So this is going to be the volume of the prism minus the volume of the cylinder. All right, y'all have a great weekend. And I'll see you on Monday. So, Ethan, here a second, if you would please. So for Spirit Wear days, it's either jeans in a Spirit shirt or it's your regular shorts in a Spirit shirt. You can't wear those, okay? Sorry, but those are the rules. All right?
Thank you.
Have a great weekend. Morning, Joey.